Hi guys, welcome to the Crown Channel. Today we are talking about the Joe Budden podcast, okay? So earlier today, if you guys listened to the Joe Budden podcast, Joe, he put out a new podcast where he apologized to his former co-host, more specifically Rory, because the last podcast, he was very disrespectful to Rory, if you could catch it, okay? He apologized for the firing. He apologized for not being appreciative of their friendship. He apologized for a few things, and after he was done with the apology, they brought on the therapist, and the therapist spoke with Joe and his co-host about the issues that he was having with co-hosts that he fired. It's weird, but Complex also wrote into this, and a clear excerpt of what Joe has said. Joe said, seeing all this feedback and all this, I do need to apologize to Rory as well. Maybe Rory and Mal too, but definitely Rory. Joe said on the newest episode of the Joe Budden podcast around the 55-minute mark, adding that things sound a lot spicier in the go out. Ever since that last pod, I've just been having like pictures in my head of every moment that me and the guys have had together. He said, when I said I didn't ask you to do for me, because I don't ask y'all to do for me, but that's a man thing to me. You just don't ask men to do too much. But when I said I didn't ask you to do something, it don't mean I'm not appreciative. It don't mean I'm not grateful. It just means I never asked. When do you say that and not sound like a D-head? He continued. I don't want that to affect people I love, which is why I'm going to apologize to Rory, because me and Rory have had so many fly moments together, like fly friend type of vibey. Like, it's unfortunate that they may not feel that we're so friendly today. And it's unfortunate that I can't tell you how we got here. Maybe aside from, if I'm taking accountability, poor leadership skills. I will say this. I mean, according to Rory and Mal, I would just say, like, thanks for the apology, but sometimes the disrespect is too much. And when Joe issued the apology, it's because during the last episode of the Joe Budden podcast, you can hear in the background, oh, I never asked Rory to come to my son's birth. I never asked anything of this. I never asked him to care. I never asked him. He was angry at Rory because Rory was doing a lot of things that good friends do. He was showing up during pivotal moments. He was being there for him. And Joe seemed like he was upset about it. And he ranted about it. And he wanted it deleted from the clip. He wanted it to be deleted from the podcast, but no one deleted it. So we caught that, and it still went out. He took it down, and we still heard it during the leaked clip. So he's upset with everyone about that. He's upset about the team. I don't think that he's really upset that he said it. I think he's more so upset that it was revealed to the public. I'm not sure. Well, guys, Rory and Mal have also issued a response to Joe's firing. I watched this video earlier. It's a clip. Well, it's about an hour-long video. They're in this beautiful studio, and it's set up like a podcast. It's kind of reminiscent to the Brilliant Idiots podcast in their room. I do believe this is the same studio. It's Wheezy from Horrible Decisions and Alex from Fragrant 2. It looks like their studio. So that's a little funny because you know that Wheezy and Alex are both kind of close to Charlemagne, which is Joe's enemy. So in the clip, Rory and Mal, they're discussing their side of things, their account of things, how things went wrong, where things are headed, and whether they would decide to deal with Joe or not. And you can tell from the clip, Mal is done. Like, Mal is done with this friendship. He's disgusted by Joe. And Rory, he is very peaceful. Like, you can tell that Rory actually cared about the friendship, and he is still leaving the door open a little bit for things to be put back together, you know? But Mal, it does not seem like he's very happy at all, okay? So they say, I feel like Joe feels like a lot of the successes of this podcast is based over his music career, Mal said. And my thing is, it's not. I've been in some of these cities when you were a rapper, Joe. This many people weren't showing up for you. Through all of this, I've had time to replace some in my head, he continued. He said something at the Highline Ballroom show we did when we were in the dressing room. He had went outside. He had recorded the people wrapped around the corner. He came back and said, yo, I got these wrapped around the corner, wrapped around the block. I got the line wrapped around the corner. And I looked at him and I said, Joe, you don't have the line wrapped around the corner. We have the line around the corner, because you've done shows before and you've never had the line around the corner. Ooh. How do y'all feel about this? Now I'm gonna tell y'all this. I definitely agree. Now, when I think about the podcast, I think that everyone contribute. I think that everyone plays a pivotal part. Although a lot of people have come to the podcast due to Joe Budden and the relationship, but I do feel like things took off when Mal came on. I think that a lot of people forget that, because this past year, Mal hasn't seemed to talk as much. I still think that he plays a pivotal part in this podcast, and I think that when he stopped talking is when the podcast has started to go down. And if you watch this clip, you see why he has not been as invested. It seems as though Joe has been stealing, or his team. I mean, it's kind of implicated that the books were looking kind of funny. And it also seems as though Joe orchestrated this whole thing in order to get his co-hosts out that were percentage partners and replace them with people that he could get for a salary. So many things were revealed in this video. I recommend you guys go watch it. I can put the link below. It is $2 and it's on Vimeo. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.